Well, with a career spanning over 25 years, Nhlanhla Mafu remains a queen of reinvention. Far from resting on her laurels, the South African icon kicks off 2026 by embracing the cutting edge of dance music, collaborating with young visionaries to keep her sound as fresh as ever. As a precursor to her highly anticipated EP dropping later on this year, Mafu has released Ngifuna uMandela, a high-energy three-step anthem designed for the dance floor and the daily grind alike. And she's in studio with us to tell us more. Always such a pleasure having you here. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This is so cool. Okay, so you need to tell me what this three-step anthem is all about.
I just decided I wanted to experiment, with this new sound for me, which is three-step. And I worked with young, amazing producers and amazing songwriters. I worked with Boss Piani as well as Sponge Makeke in terms of songwriting. And yeah, and it's just, it's a dance track.
Yeah.
The song is called Ngifuna uMandela, meaning I want the money,
Yes.
So I'm really very much on this song, encouraging people to work hard. Because, we all want a good life,
Yeah.
want to live a good life, want to live a soft life, and we just want to do things for sometimes our kids and our families. But, I'm encouraging people to go out and work hard in order to get this Mandela, and because sometimes, I always think about a scenario where one has like 10 friends, and if you ask them, out of the 10 friends, is any one of these friends, are you ever talking business with these friends? Are you ever talking building empires, building a legacy? Are you ever, or is it always about, oh, let's go out, let's go chill, let's go have fun? So it's really, really important also that we surround ourselves with people that, will grow us, and we just need to empower each other, not just friendships, even in the relationships.
So I think this message coming from you is vitally important, because the industry that you're in is a very difficult industry to maintain your head and mind and humility in a way, because this is what it's all about. It's about the fun, and suddenly you find friends you didn't even know. All these people surrounding you and enjoying the free drinks and enjoying the free entrance into clubs and backstage and this and that and the next, and spending all of your money while they are kind of hanging on. I've seen it. This is what happens. But you've managed to do this for 27 years now. And this is not, as much as you're having fun, this is your career. This is how you're making a living. And you're saving for your future and becoming a successful businesswoman at that. I love the message that you're getting across. How do you do that? When did this click in, that this is how I need to run my life?
I actually thought about it sometime last year. Late last year, when I was working on this EP, and it's just a thought that came to me, and I thought, you know what, if we're not going to empower each other, as it just told me something about the people that we hang around with, the friends that we keep, the circle that we keep, and I just realized that it's important that, as much as we go out and have fun as friends, but also let's create a space where we can speak about how do we grow our finances, how do we grow each other, how can we support each other, what is it that we can do when we come together and say, oh, okay, there's other people. I mean, it can start as simple as something like a stokvel, and people can say, oh, this is what I want to achieve this year, okay, we'll build towards that. Oh, this is what I want to do this year, I want to, I can't afford my child's school fees, but if we do this, then it's going to help. So I just realized that it's important that we keep the people around us that that will help us grow.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that's a problem, is keeping people around you that are in it to have fun, take as much as they can, and walk away to the next person once you sort of have finished it off. But the good thing is that you haven't. I mean, this is what's so wonderful, is to see you reinventing yourself, is to see you constantly staying on top of things and working on different projects. But I want to focus a little on this one, because you've really got us, you've gotten involved with younger producers, younger artists, and the next generation. So I know what you're teaching them, because you've given us a little bit of a glimpse into it. What are they teaching you? What are you learning from this next generation?
They are, one thing about them is that they are brave. You know, they're not afraid to explore and experiment with new sounds, but also they're also out there. They know what is happening out there. So I've learned to just sometimes sit back and listen, you know, when they come up with ideas, because they know what is out there. Because I'm a pop artist at the end of the day. So I kind of like have to keep up with what's out there, what's happening out there, you know what I mean? So, so because I don't go out so much unless if I'm working, so, but they go out, so they know. Some of them are DJs, you know, some of these producers are DJs, so they know, you know, they're the ones who always have their ear on the ground and say, this is where the sound is going.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do. You know, this is where the sound is. This is where the wave is, you know. So, so that's what I'm learning from them. But also they're very brave in terms of, you know, not being afraid to experiment with new sounds.
Yeah, which is important, and I'm
Yeah.
so glad that we're recognizing that in you, because, you know, when you look back over your career, and it's been a sterling career, it really has been. I mean, you have reinvented yourself, you have managed to but not reinvent yourself to the point that you become unrecognizable. It's still who you are.
Yeah.
But how do you know when it's time to start reinventing without losing yourself,
Yeah.
staying true to yourself, but just, you know,
Yeah,
fix it,
yeah.
turn it a little bit to suit the times?
Let me tell you, it's quite difficult, especially when you come from a big group like Mafikizolo, because, you know, people will almost every single time associate you with Mafikizolo and attach you,
Of course.
you know, because that's where they know you from. So for me, it's quite an interesting challenge for me, because now I feel like I have to start at the bottom, you know, and to build a brand that people will recognize outside of Mafikizolo. You know, I'm working, and that's the plan for 2026, to just strengthen the brand that is Nhlanhla Mafu and make sure, I mean, you know, I'll always be a part of Mafikizolo, obviously, because we'll continue working as Mafikizolo, and, you know, but I do want for people to kind of like separate the two. So for me, it's a challenge, but I love it. You know, it's a challenge in the sense that people are, you know, especially our South African people, they're so much in love with Mafikizolo. And once they
Very
see you
much.
doing solos and stuff, they kind of like
They get a little
scared
bit-
and
it's
like,
like,
you guys are
it's
breaking
not
up,
gonna
you know.
happen.
And because Mafikizolo is their favorite
Yeah.
group. But now it's giving me that challenge this year to make sure that I work hard on building the brand that is Nhlanhla Mafu, so that it can be able to stand on its own, independent from Mafikizolo, you know. And it's always nice when people say, you know, since Nhlanhla from Mafikizolo and so forth, but I want to get the brand to a point where people can just say Nhlanhla Mafu,
Yeah.
you know, and when they listen to the song, they must just say Nhlanhla Mafu.
Yeah, that's
And
her sound,
not,
that's her.
yeah, and not attach Mafikizolo always, you
yeah.
know, and in everything that I do, not always, not all the time.
Listen, we're all always associated with the brand. It is the way it is. I know the feeling very much so. But, you know, it is important as well to stamp who you are.
Yeah.
Never ever to want to distance yourself from, you know, where you come from,
Yeah.
but also to understand, you know, this is me. I'm also an individual.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, were there, as with all of us in life, I mean, it's your journey hasn't been without challenges, and it's a very public journey, and we know that. You've been through good times, bad times, heartbreak, personal rebuilding, rebranding, a lot of pressure. All of this has happened, but not behind closed doors, right in front of everybody. And yet you always show up, and that's what's so wonderful about you, is you show up, you reinvent in a beautiful way, in your way, and you don't shy away from that. I just want to ask you, was there ever a time when you felt, I can't do this anymore, and I want to walk away from this industry? Did you ever feel that way?
Funny enough,
Never.
there's never really been that time.
Love that.
You know,
Love it.
there's never really been that time, because I know this is something that I prayed for so many years, you know, especially when we're still struggling, still trying to make it trying to break it into the music industry, because it took us a very long time before people actually started noticing, you know. So this is something that I've prayed for, and, you know, I feel like I'm privileged to be in this space. and to still be doing this, you know, after so many years. This year it's 28 years,
Sure.
29 years in the music industry. So I feel like it's a privilege, and I don't take that for granted, you know, and I'm just thankful to God, you know, every single time. I mean, we can't run away. Like running away from your challenges is like running away from life, and you can't run away from life. You know, challenges are a part of life, and what keeps me going and what keeps me strong always is my faith. You know, with everything that I've been through, what has gotten me through all of that is my faith and just my belief in God, and knowing that even in hard times, God is there with me. You know, so there's never really been a time. Actually, this is a space where I've always escaped to.
Yeah.
You know, when I was going through whatever I'm going through, music is the place for me where I find peace, you know, and healing and comfort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping because I know that you've got a performance for us. I don't want to steal from that. All I do know is obviously we've got the single. It's going to be performed, which I'm looking forward to. Your upcoming EP?
Yes.
When are we expecting that?
The EP will come out later on this year,
Okay.
maybe around May, June.
Fantastic.
You know, mid this year, and I'm very excited about that. It's a dance, Afro tech, Afro house EP. And it's got beautiful songs, and I think people will get to know more about me when they listen to this EP.
Fantastic.
They'll get to understand more about me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We can't wait. Singer, songwriter, and clothing designer Nhlanhla Mafu joining us here on Morning Live, and she's going to be back after the break to perform that new single of hers. Do stay tuned.